I'm Cameron,
I'm Eric.
and this is Phantom News.
All right. What's in the news today, Cam?
There's a lot of stuff in the news right now. So the big one right now is that Trump doesn't want to take down all the Confederate statues, which I completely like. I don't know. I think they should remain up in a sense. Like I don't know if they should remain up outside. Like I think they're fine. I think we need to learn about history, etc. Like Auschwitz is still up. Why aren't the Jews petitioning to take down Auschwitz?
Because
You know
it's
what I'm
not like
saying?
there's Hitler statues outside of Auschwitz.
It's still Auschwitz. I think we should take the Confederate statues and like put them in museums, not just outside.
No, I completely agree. I think we can't ignore, as a history teacher, I think we can't ignore our history.
Exactly.
I think it's very important, but I think there's a better place. I think you run a fine line when you are honoring people who are fighting for something that people disagree with. But I also think that we need to acknowledge our history. Let's put them in a museum. Let's create an American Civil War museum, and let's honor both sides. In a place where we expect that to happen.
I agree. This I don't know. The stupidest part about this is like they're like we need to tear it down. We need to tear them all down right now. And instead of going to like state legislators or whatever, they're just going out and tearing them down.
Yeah, there needs to be we need to go about it in the proper channels. But I don't disagree that they should be down. I get both sides of the argument, but I also think that we shouldn't. We need to acknowledge the fact that race is a very real thing, and racism is a very real thing in our country.
All right, so I'm going to read some Trump tweets about this whole situation, the Confederate statue situation. It is sad. I still can't do a Trump impression.
You suck at it.
Wubba-lubba-dub-dub, am I right, everybody? Sad to see the history and culture of our great country being ripped apart with the removal of our beautiful statues and monuments. You can't change history, but you can learn from it. Robert E. Lee, Stonewall Jackson. Who's next? Washington? Jefferson? So foolish. Also, the beauty that is being taken out of our cities, towns, and parks will be greatly missed and never able to be comparably replaced. He's got a point about the beauty in the parks, though, because
he does. History. Part of the reason we study history is to not make the same mistakes that we made before.
Right.
So part of the reason that we need to acknowledge our history is so that we don't ever let slavery, that practice, and those racist tendency and Jim Crow and all those horrible things that happened out of this happen again. And they're not gone. Like, let's be honest. Like, racism is still a real thing. It still exists. Tearing down those monuments, it opens a door of forgetting historical events. And I'm not saying that we're going to forget that. But he's not entirely wrong about tearing down history and making it disappear, right? We don't want to forget what happened during World War II. We don't want to forget the Holocaust because we want to make sure that never happens again, right? So I think it goes back to let's peaceably put these statues in a place where we can all say, let's not forget the history, but let's not memorialize them and make these great things out of them and put them in public places.
I'm glad you said peaceably instead of peacefully. I think that the thing he brought up with Washington and Jefferson, I think he brought those up because they were both slave owners.
They were.
And I think he's saying something along, if you have problems with Robert E. Lee, why do you have a problem with Washington and Jefferson?
Yeah. But it's a completely different. We got to remember that these guys, Robert E. Lee and Washington lived a long time apart.
Worlds apart.
And most of the world was done with slavery by the time Robert E. Lee in the South was still fighting to keep
Except
it.
for Africa, because they still have slavery going on right now.
Well, yeah.
Shout out to Africa.
No, but the slave trade in most of the world was over with, and the United States was still hanging on to it.
That is true, yeah.
And it was different. I mean, it's hard. You have to do a whole bunch of mental somersaults to justify slavery, in my opinion. Like to be able to say, yeah, I own someone. That's a horrible thing. But we also need to keep in mind that we aren't in that time period, right? We're not there. And thank goodness we're not back in 1776 having to make these decisions. We don't know what was going on entirely in their minds back then.
Right. I mean, back then they didn't even think black people were people.
Yeah, and it's horrible and it's awful.
They thought they were like horses.
But I don't know. It's important to remember our history and not forget it. But there's a time and a place for
Remembrance.
Memorializing people. George Washington was a slave owner, but he also was like the general that created the United States.
That's true.
Like,
to be fair, Robert E. Lee created the Confederate States that no longer exists.
Not really. He fought for him, but there's a big difference. Between George, like, I don't praise George Washington for owning slaves, but I praise him for what he did do that was good for the country.
Right.
Is it bad that he owned slaves? Yeah. Absolutely. Right?
All right. Eric, well, you have a topic, right?
I had a topic. Well, let's stick with Trump. Just let's stay in the politics wheelhouse right now. There's a news article saying that one of the guys who penned Donald Trump's memoir, The Art of the Deal, thinks that Donald Trump will resign before the end of his term.
I don't think that's true. That dude's too stubborn to resign.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, I don't think he wants to be president. I don't think
he wants to be president.
But I think he's too stubborn to quit.
I think he ran for president just so Hillary wouldn't be president. Or, okay, no, there's a huge
he ran
conspiracy.
for president because he wanted to be president, but I think he thought the job was way easier than it was going to be.
Yeah, who knew healthcare would be this hard?
Who knew that when you're the president, you are busy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
No one could have guessed.
You get no privacy. You basically are it's the worst job in America. It's the only job where you get voted in by people, but instantly half the people in the country hate you the moment you take the job.
Have you heard the conspiracy that Trump ran just so Hillary would have an easier time winning?
That he was trying to get Hillary
elected? That he was trying to get Hillary elected, and that's why he was like a loudmouth and said whatever he wanted, and then he thought people would hate him for it, and so he was like, I'm just going to get Hillary elected this way, and then it didn't work.
Trump's interesting because that makes sense, because Trump has flip-flopped on policy so many times, you don't really even know if he's really a Republican or a Democrat.
I'm pretty sure he used to be Democrat. I think he just ran as Republican because I think he thought it'd be easier.
He's flip-flopped so many parties, and, you know, he just...
Do you think he's going to quit by the end of his term?
I think he's too stubborn to quit. Do I think he's going to make it to full term? I don't know. I think impeachment's a real possibility.
Yeah, I mean, Bill Clinton got impeached. So I'm like,
it's different than removing from office.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You can be impeached and not removed from office.
I think he resigns if he's impeached and is being threatened to be removed from office, like Nixon.
There's a possibility of like a Nixon case going on here. I agree. Yeah. All right. So in other news, Miley Cyrus.
Entertainment
Let's
news.
Let's
switch gears to entertainment news. We need like little like intros for each of these.
Wow.
Wow.
Entertainment news. Okay. Miley Cyrus goes back to her roots, lays out $5.8 million for a Tennessee farmhouse.
That's back to your roots.
And I don't know about you guys, but my roots definitely include $5.8 million that I can just lay out on Tennessee farmhouses.
Going back to my roots is like sitting in someone's yard and like looking at a trampoline that I can't afford.
In other news, Cameron goes back to his roots and has no friends.
I just like hometown is good, great, but let's be honest, Miley has never experienced anything other than a rich, plush life.
I'd like to point out though
that's not going back to your roots.
Okay, technically, if her roots started in a rich, plush life, then that is her roots. Yeah, it depends on where you start, where your roots are, I guess. But I'm just saying that's a really stupid way to phrase that article title. But whatever was in Miley Cyrus is now in Katy Perry, right?
Oh,
the demon.
Oh yeah, I was way confused.
Not the person.
Mine went totally dirty there.
Thanks, Eric. The person.
Stop it.
Not the person, I meant the demon. The demon that was inside Miley.
That took a yeah. Oh, Katy Perry's totally drunk.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
she got the Miley haircut and then she started going crazy.
Her
and then at the same
her
time,
SNL appearance with the new song with the wavy arm kid has got to be one of the worst things I've ever watched in my whole life. The only thing that makes that fun to watch is the wavy arm kid.
At the exact same time, Miley Cyrus goes back to being a normal human being.
I don't think we can call Miley normal.
You know, she said she felt sexualized on that performance she did a little while ago, and I saw it on a Reddit post, and the top comment on Reddit was just, I felt like an employee at my place of employment today. Because, yeah, you kind of brought that upon yourself.
I don't know. But for Miley to go back to her roots, she's got to go all Raven Simone and start a new Disney Channel show.
Whoa.
Like a revitalization of Hannah Montana.
It's a 33-acre farmhouse. The 6,869 square foot Franklin home was constructed in 2014 and holds 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, a 3-car garage, a pool, a miniature putting green.
I'd take just a putting green and be happy.
I'd take just a pool. I'd just take Miley and be happy.
Stop.
Didn't she get back with her old boyfriend?
I don't know.
Because I gotta say, if she did, that is insane. Because she was off the rails for 5 years after he broke up with her, and like a girl can act crazy and break up with her boyfriend or whatever. 5 seconds later, be back again, and the boyfriend wants nothing to do with them. And I'm just saying, Miley did it for 5 years.
That's impressive. Yeah, but you know, she has a pool, and it's kind of like that friend who has the pool in high school. Like,
I didn't have a friend that had a pool.
Oh, well, you missed out.
I
did, but I actually really like this friend. I wasn't friends just because of his pool, but we all know that one kid who really only has friends because his parents put in a pool.
I had friends that had access to pools. Shout outs to Zach.
So, let's talk about, speaking of money, Powerball lottery prize hits $510 million.
That's insane. They pulled it. I think it was yesterday or the day before, and no one won.
That's nuts.
That means it goes up.
It went up to $510 million.
What would you do with $510 million?
What would I do with $510 million? I'd buy an island.
That's a really good purchase,
I'd
actually.
buy an island.
I just get lots of drugs.
I'd want an island with lots of beach, a boat.
I don't do drugs. I was just kidding.
A nice boathouse, big screen TV, and a driving range out into the ocean that I can hit those fish golf balls into.
You know, if I won that lottery, I'd go back to my roots and buy myself a Tennessee farmhouse.
I'd buy that trampoline I never got as a kid.
I'd buy that pool I never got to have.
Then your kids will always have friends, though.
I'm not having kids, Eric.
Oh, yeah. Well, my kids will come play in your pool.
That's fine.
Well, if you get one of those pool, you got to get one of those signs that says there's like
no lifeguard on duty.
No, the welcome to our ool. Notice there's no pee in it. Let's keep it that way signs. That was my favorite one.
Yeah, but your son's like,
we don't swim.
Isn't your son like a year and a half? Like, there's no way he's gonna keep that rule.
Yeah, but it's gonna take a while for you to put the pool in. He'll be 2 by then.
Oh, okay, that's fine. As soon as he hits 2, it'll be completely perfect.
Whatever. People still pee in the pool when they're like 30, 40, 50.
I still do.
So,
on purpose. Dang, I gotta pee. I don't want to walk over to the bathroom.
We were at the lake the other day, and my daughter's like, "Dad, I have to go to the bathroom," and we were nowhere near a bathroom. Like we were at the
walk into the lake, honey.
I was like, just go into the lake. So she walks over to the lake and stands on the shore and just pulls her swimsuit over and just pees right on the beach. It's like, no, in the water. In the water. It was hilarious.
There was no one around, right?
No.
Oh, okay, good. You're like, no.
I was like, well, you tried.
Congratulations.
She's 5. It's okay.
Speaking of Idaho, the eclipse is coming up.
Yeah. I mean, we're closest to Idaho, but it cuts right across the whole United States.
Yeah. I mean,
Oregon, Idaho, Wyoming a little bit.
Yeah, there's a couple places a little north that you can
go to.
But
we're closer to Idaho.
We're pretty close to Idaho.
I mean, we're already in, like, from where we're at, we're in the 95% zone. We're still going to, even if you don't go to the 100%, you're still going to see a pretty decent eclipse.
Yeah. I was supposed to go up to Idaho with Bryce, but then I'm supposed to work Monday. But then, because of circumstances, I had to call in.
So glad the internet world knows who Bryce is.
I had to call in sick on Wednesday because I was sick. And because I work with food, I'm not allowed to go back till I get a doctor's note, and the first available doctor's appointment is on Tuesday.
So, hey, look at that.
So maybe I'll just go to Idaho anyway.
Nice. I'm excited about this eclipse. Like, it's cool. It's a, like, really once or twice in a lifetime type of event. I mean,
it's like a once in a lifetime event. Like lunar eclipses happen all the time.
Yeah, but
solar eclipses are
like
rare.
This. Yeah, that could occur. When was the last? 77 years ago?
Yeah,
there's a guy who saw one. Yeah, he's blind actually now.
Wow.
I watched a story about this.
Okay,
a story about this. So he goes and watches the eclipse 77 years ago or whatever it was, and looked at the sun, and he's been blind ever since. And he's warning people not to look at the eclipse.
You know, as a kid, I used to have staring, not
Oh,
scaring.
okay, thanks, Brian Regan.
Hey.
Slaughtered that joke.
Because I said scaring.
We got a 6 on the sun stare.
Got a 6 on the sun stare. Everyone else
I think
is
you got to be
inside.
really careful. Like, I'm super excited to watch this, but I don't want to look at the sun.
Just grab some sunglasses, fam.
That doesn't work.
Put some sunscreen on your eyes.
Here's the crazy thing. So there's no pain receptors in the back of your eye. So you don't feel that you are being burned in the back of the eye. And what they say is that you might not notice that you're losing your vision until the next day. Like, so you don't instantly lose your vision. So you could be looking at the solar eclipse and not lose your vision, and then you could wake up the next morning and be like, what the crap, I can't see anymore. And you're blind for the rest of your life. And they can't fix it. Like, there's no medical fix for it.
Okay. How many people do you think are going to go blind off this?
Thousands. And I think little kids are the most at risk.
So here's the thing. I'm going to agree with that thousands number. At first, I thought it was going to be a little lower. I know people that like drive into Idaho from California, from Nevada, from like Oregon. Like people from all over the country are coming to the Western United States, to where we are, to see this eclipse. And there's going to be millions of people.
The weather should be really good up here, is what we're seeing, and it's looking like it's going to be a clear sky. So a lot of people are coming up to Idaho and to Jackson Hole and whatnot. But the biggest danger is little kids. Because even if they're wearing those glasses, how tempted are those little kids to take off those glasses?
They're stupid. Little kids are stupid.
Yeah, they don't know.
Their parents aren't going to be...
There's a whole bunch of those glasses that aren't good.
That like don't even work. Amazon did like a whole recall on them.
Yeah.
There's also like parents aren't going to be watching the little kids to make sure their glasses are still on. They're going to be watching the sun.
They're going to be watching the sun. Yeah.
Those little kids take their glasses off, they're blind the rest of their lives.
Yeah. It's going to be bad. I think this is the best way to see the solar eclipse if you want to see it. The news. Watch it on TV. You're not going to hurt your eyes.
That's true. My dad already booked a hotel room up in Idaho. He booked it as soon as he found out it was happening. He booked his hotel room October 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Yes.
Well, did they really book it that far in advance?
They booked him for Sunday night, Monday. I'm pretty sure he's either Sunday night, Monday, or Monday night, Tuesday. They booked him in October 2015.
Wow, that's cool. He probably got a good deal because now the prices are through the roof.
It's like, depending on what hotel you get at, it's anywhere between $600 and $1,000 a night.
Yeah, Jackson Hole was like, some of the nicer hotels in Jackson were $2,000, $3,000.
Which they can do because people will pay.
Yeah, I have a cousin whose husband's a chef, and he's going up. He works for a restaurant chain, and they're doing breakfast up there. And he had to go up all weekend to get ready for the breakfast to anticipate the like 500,000 people they're expecting.
And like you can't. They said you're not gonna be able to use your phone. You can't use credit cards.
It's gonna be nuts.
Like you got to bring cash.
The network is gonna be down.
I wonder if my dad prepaid. I hope so. Otherwise, that dude's gonna get up to Idaho and not have any cash.
Seriously. I think the solar eclipse is going to be cool. If you really, really want to see it, make a pinhole viewer. Second safest way to like see it out.
It's glasses than pinhole viewer. Pinhole viewer is really easy. You just get cardboard.
Pinhole viewer's got to be safer than glasses.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, because you don't know if your glasses
made though.
You don't know if your glasses are good ones or not.
I know, but these glasses are like specifically made to view. Like, I have a friend who doesn't use glasses or pinhole viewer. He has okay, this is the way you can do it if you like really want to see it without either one of those. You can grab. He has a welding mask that he uses.
Yeah, a welding mask wouldn't be.
A welding mask is a really good idea.
Yeah, that's actually pretty smart. Rush on welding masks tonight.
Ooh, everyone's gonna hear this and go buy welding masks. All four of you.
All four of the people will. Like, let's be honest here.
Hey, someday it'll be 4 million.
Two of our listeners are in here. They're not going to listen again.
They're not going to listen again.
So,
and then
we're down to 2.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah. So go see the solar eclipse on Monday. It should start. I think the viewing window where we're at is like 10 a.m. to noon or something like that.
And I'm going to be in the back of a kitchen working at a fryer if I work. Feels bad, man. I wonder if they'll let me go outside to watch it.
I think everyone will be outside. I think it'll be a cool event.
I think they should just like, all right, attention all employees, go outside.
You got to be safe though. I mean,
attention all employees.
Pay attention to what's going on in the world around you. I mean, anytime you're in a crowded place with lots of people, be vigilant, be smart.
One time I was at work and the fire alarm went off. We had to evacuate the whole store. It was awesome.
That is awesome. One time I set the fire alarm off at the school.
Yeah, so did Clint.
So,
during the middle of a show.
Mine was during middle of the school day.
I remember one time I called you in the middle of a show.
Yeah, it was on 420 too.
Dude,
that was the best part.
that's
all the rumors spread that
hype.
there were kids smoking. No, it was a fog machine.
It was just Eric.
It was a fog machine.
I remember one time during a show I called you, but it went to your iPad, which you were running the music off of.
Yeah, that was funny too. All right, that's why our shirts are gonna say I've screwed up bigger shows than you. This.
Thank goodness. I want that.
Okay. Anything else you want to talk about? You want to talk about
Yeah, I got some video game stuff.
some video game stuff?
I'm not sure how many of you are up to date on Pokemon, but they unveiled Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which
Dumb
are
names.
dumb names.
Especially in an eclipse year.
I know.
It should have just been Pokemon Eclipse or something like that.
They should, instead of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, it should have been called Pokemon like Solar Eclipse and Lunar
Solar
Eclipse.
Yeah,
That would have been way
that
cooler.
would have been way cooler.
It's an eclipse year, Nintendo. Get on this.
with this crap.
So apparently they unveiled new evolution, player avatars, and quote unquote a mystery. Now I don't know what the mystery is because I haven't.
Way to go, Nintendo being super vague again.
Yeah, Legend of Zelda will be out sometime.
Breath of the
Launch
Wild?
day of the Switch.
Yeah, we waited for it for what, 4 years?
That's like the only good Zelda title on the Wii U that's not Virtual Console.
That's true.
The other ones are like
I like how Nintendo also told us that they weren't going to kill off the Wii U, and then essentially they just killed off the
it's
Wii
like,
U.
yeah, we're not going to kill off the Wii U. We're going to keep making games for the Wii U. We're going to, as soon as the Switch comes out, don't worry, Wii U owners. Switch comes out, where'd the Wii U go?
The Wii U games are non-existent now.
My favorite part of the Switch actually is that they made the cartridges taste bad.
That is pretty awesome.
Because a lot of people
And
made videos
the Switch
about
is
it.
the Switch is pretty awesome. Like I played the Switch. I don't own one yet, but I've played it. I've loved it. It's a pretty sweet gig. But, yeah, Nintendo basically in essence just giant middle finger to the Wii U users of the world.
That is true. Which RIP you because you have one.
I know.
You're one of the only people I know.
I love my Wii U. It was
Mario
a great-
Maker is the funnest game.
It was a great console. It was super underappreciated in my opinion, and it was the developers that I think killed it more than anything because it's an excellent console.
Well, it's really sad. Well, of course the developers kill it. They don't want to develop for 2 screens.
You don't have to develop for 2 screens
Okay, yeah, you could develop for one. So
because
you
it
could
could have
develop
just
for
mirrored
one
it
and then
down
it'll
the-
mirror it.
Yeah.
But you also have to like encode the mirroring technology, whatever, blah blah blah. That's okay. All you had to do with the Virtual Boy was do one and then mirror it. They didn't want to do that either.
I know.
That's why it didn't do as good.
That's why the Switch works though. It's because they're not.
The Switch
That's
is
all.
amazing. My friend has one. I have played multiple games on it, just Zelda actually, and a
Because
couple
why
of
else
Street
would you
Fighter
play?
games.
Like,
But
Street Fighter's sweet.
Zelda is, I don't know. Okay, so
Breath of the Wild is one of the greatest games ever made.
I was
I'm gonna
talking to
say
Max.
it
I was talking
right
to
now.
I was talking to Max about it. We have this guy named Max that we know. I was talking to Max about it, and he said, "What did you think about it?" I said, "It was really good, but it didn't feel as much as Zelda plus Skyrim as I wanted it to. It felt more like Skyrim plus Zelda. Like it was like almost like a Skyrim game, and then they just incorporated elements of Zelda into it, which I think they should have done the other way around.
But they were reinventing the genre.
Like I know.
In my opinion, like it wasn't. It was clearly a departure from the traditional Zelda in the way that Wind Waker is it Wind Waker that's the weird
water
toon
one?
Yeah, but it's different style of
You
like
don't-
Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask are one style, and then you have that cartoon Toon Link.
You can argue that with
one.
every other Zelda though.
I think
Like
it's
the
just a
first 2
departure.
Zeldas are 2D side scrollers.
Yeah.
The third one is like an open RPG adventure game. One of them is like the old type Final Fantasy games. Then you got Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, which are just huge, basically RPGs, except they actually have missions and stories that you're supposed to do. It's like just not like a random RPG with no goal, kind of like Skyrim. It's not like Skyrim as much as the new one is. And then it goes Toon Link, and then which with that one. Then get this, there's a game on the DS. A Zelda game on the DS that almost no one knows about because it sucks. It takes place all on trains. He's called the Master of Trains. We got the Hero of Time, right?
The Master of
Then
Trains.
we got the Hero of Time 2.0. Then okay, let me look this up because
Don't look it up. I'm just kidding. Look it up.
so it's all like really weird, but so we have like the Hero of Time, which is Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, and then I kid you not, the one in the train one is called the Hero of Trains. And I'm going to see if I can find this.
When did it come out?
Yeah, Spirit Tracks. That's what it's
I've
called.
never heard of this.
You've never heard of Spirit Tracks? Not a lot of people have. Spirit Tracks is kind of sucky. It takes place basically all on trains. All right, here's the Zelda timeline. Let's see if it has the heroes' names on it.
Hey, it's got an A- on 1up.com. Metacritic gave it an
Whoa.
87 out of 100.
That's interesting.
GameSpy.
Okay.
GameSpy rated it a 4.5 star.
So we have Hero of Time, which is from Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. We have Hero of Winds, which is from Wind Waker. We have Hero Chosen by the Gods, which I think is Twilight Princess, and then maybe I think it's Zelda 2. Zelda 1. I think Zelda 1 and 2 is Hero Chosen by the Gods, and then that one is Hero of Trains. So if you
It can't
ever
be that bad. Game Informer 8 out of 10. IGN 9.3 out of 10. IGN, they're pretty reputable.
all right, maybe I'll have to buy this game and actually play it. I just heard it sucked.
It's got good reviews.
All right, I'm going to Amazon right now and buying this then.
It was received well by critics.
This can't be right. It takes place on trains.
I've never heard of it, and it sounds super dumb, but the critics, I trust IGN. I really do. And
That's
GameSpot,
kind of a mistake.
GameSpot is 8.5 out of 10.
8.5
GameSpy is a 4.5 star.
out of 5, right? They do 5
5
on
star.
GameSpy. That's ridiculous. There's no way it can be that
OneUp.com is
good.
an A-. Metacritic is a 98 or 90 or an 87 out of 100.
Okay, I'm looking up Spirit Tracks right now.
Okay. Anyway, that's kind of taking
It's
a big departure.
$70.
Shut up. So good. It's way more expensive than a Switch game.
We also have Phantom Hourglass, and I think he's also the Hero of Time. I
All
just
I
want to
know
play
is-
Spirit Tracks now.
All I know is we've had this debate. I like Ocarina of
Majora's
Time.
Mask is better, but that's okay. You can have your wrong opinion.
I like Ocarina of Time better than Majora's Mask.
You can have your wrong opinion. That's
Majora's
fine.
Mask is weird.
Majora's Mask is easily the best Zelda game out there, and I will dispute and argue with anyone who disagrees.
We should have this debate another time. But I think you're wrong. I think Ocarina is better.
Okay, Eric, whatever you say, dude. All right, cool. This about wraps it up for this week. Tune in next week where we discuss some more things that have happened in the news. Yeah, anyway, I'm Cameron,
I'm Eric.
and this has been Phantom News.